Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I've got Pieter here with me tonight. And Pieter, I'm not going to go into too much of an introduction. You are energy analyst.
Yes.
And I'm going to leave that with you and ask you to explain to us exactly what that means and what you do and how you do it.
Okay, thank you so much, Leon, for the opportunity. For those of you wondering what an energy analyst does, as the word suggests, I use my ability to see and sense energy and analyze it to guide people into what they want to achieve in life and to help them reach their goals and their full potential. A lot of people know Tesla as a scientist that used to live in the end of the 1800s, and he had a saying where he said that if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.
Yes.
So I'm sure that you guys have heard that. Now, with frequency, everything that we basically touch, anything that we think, anything that we say, anything that we actually do, creates a resonance, which we can see as a vibration. Now, as an example to the audience, a lot of people know of the experience that people speak of called the aura. The aura comes from the old Greek Latin words that means breath of life, from the old Greek avra, which was later then turned into aura as it became Latinized. Now, the aura is an energy field that surrounds us. It's an energetic biomechanical field. So when you basically have changes in your thought patterns, changes in your body posture, you can see an effect of that in your energy field. And just as an example, when I look at people and when I look at businesses, for example, I can see whether or not a person has any blockages in any of their energy centers and how those would be impacting on their reality.
Are those energy centers similar to what they call your chakras?
Yes, yes. The old word chakras that the Indian philosophers spoke about, they basically categorize 7 energy centers.
Yes.
We have much more because also in those days, people were still developing the concept of energy. But these 7 basic ones that we have, and of those 7, we have 3 that relate to the physical world. So that would be your red from your base, your orange from your sacral, your yellow of your solar plexus. That's your physical auras chakras, as one would call it. You have your heart, which is the bridge between your physical aura, the lower part, and your spiritual ones. And then your spiritual aura would be your throat, which is your expression center in blue, your indigo, which is your brow center, your ability to perceive things beyond the physical, and then your crown connection, which is your creation link to source.
So when you do this, you say you can pick it up by just looking at a person and you can read them that way.
Yes.
So what are the type of things you can read by just looking at a person?
The first thing that people need to understand is that with energy and energy analysis, people can see events from people's pasts. You can see things currently happening to a person, and you can also see things that are still going to happen to a person. But this is where it becomes tricky. A lot of people, when they hear that, think that you are a fortune teller and that you're starting to work with hocus pocus woo-woo things, but it's not like that. Because energy is something that constantly changes. When you pick up something from a person's future, if it's something that's not positive for their benefit, you can warn them so that they can change things. Things are never set in stone.
Okay, so we had a discussion where we spoke about how quickly it is to make a change, and it's just by making that decision.
In an instant, yes.
So in that instant, if I change my mind in an instant, then does my aura change and do the colors change? And
instantly as well, yes.
And so then what you will see will then change in that instant.
Exactly. Like, for example, if I look at a person, if I take you as an example, and I won't reveal your Swiss bank account details, so the people don't need to worry that the red card will now give them these details, is I can see that at the moment in your mental body, which is your yellow layer, which is your thought processes, that you're playing with 3 very different ideas, and that these 3 different ideas are going to be regarding your personal life and business, where you're wanting to guide yourself in the next few months. And there is a sense of anticipation, also maybe a little bit of like a hesitation because of the dark orange yellow that I pick up on the right hand side of the body. Now in the energy field, your left hand side is usually your past, your future aspect, and your right hand side is usually your past. So if I look at you, I can see that there has been a lot of refocusing, a lot of restructuring, and that you're busy with lots and lots of papers, which to me would indicate your mind being expressed in form, so that you can basically form a checklist that you want to follow to reach your goals.
Well, that's quite interesting. Over the last 3 days, I've been sitting and just whatever comes into my head and everything that I think about with the motivational strategy training that I do and all of that, where I started writing things down. and I've covered, which is maybe not a lot, but I've covered, I think, 5 or 6 pages
Yes.
of just writing of ideas and concepts
Yes.
that I want to share with people. So,
Yes.
so that's in the happening. And also, you're right, there's like a new business idea that we've identified that we're working on. And also, I think a change of direction in my training. So, yes, and it's stuff, yeah.
And also, just interesting, the word values comes up to me very strongly. So you're a person that gets very well driven by setting your values and knowing which ones are the ones that resonates best with you, because that's your passion.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what else? What else can you, not about me, I mean, I'm scared we're going to share something that I don't want to share, but what else, if you have to look at not me, but somebody else,
Okay.
what else can you pick up?
With people, for example, people often forget that our actions in business, for example, impact on our reality as well. When people feel down and depressed, they don't realize that they're actually causing more chaos in the energy field, because with their mindset being limited, with them not living to their full potential, and also sometimes actually forgetting about their full potential. People only live at about 1% of what they can really achieve. And the trick is to teach people the thinking processes, to launch them into taking responsibility for their energy. When they take responsibility for their energy, they will start resonating at a different frequency. And that frequency will then set into motion a ripple effect, which will then cause their reality to change. And that is something that I focus on a lot as well, with helping people to get to that point.
Okay, now, I just had something popped into my head. So actually 2 things. You talk about changing our energy and what we project, because they said, well, we all are just running on different frequencies.
Yes.
But now if I change my energy or my frequency,
Yes.
will I attract similar frequencies or energies towards me? Does
Yes.
that work?
Yes.
Number 1.
Yes.
And then number 2, if you have this ability to understand people, if I am a salesperson, how can I, as a salesperson or even as a business, use what you have to help me build better relationships with my clients? Is that possible? And if
Yes.
yes, how can I do that?
Yes, Leon, that is definitely possible. To me, the biggest thing, for example, using the salesperson as an example, a salesperson is a person that uses their communication skills to actually sell their product or their service to another client. If they don't project the right words, the energy that they give off will not be congruent to them being able to make the close and make the sale.
Yeah.
So in teaching people how to do this, you can pick up whether they are working to their full potential, and in business teams, whether the business team are all running as a tuned frequency generator to achieve the same goal. Because you might have, for example, in relationships, the one partner would be very much focused on personal development, just an example. He's setting goals. He is focusing on attaining success, building a new home, getting his career in order, getting his relationship in order. But then his partner, on the other hand, might be suffering with depression. So they're constantly thinking that they're not worthy. They might be thinking that they're struggling with finances. They might be thinking that their job is not really something that they enjoy. They're not living their passion. So the 2 frequencies start impacting on one another, and the person resonating at a higher frequency starts lowering their vibration. And although their frequency has the potential to pull the lower one up, because that lower one is so negative, you will then find that very often the relationship will start separating.
Okay, so can you, in that sense, help couples to realign their energy
Yes.
better for them to kind of, let's say, save the relationship or
Yes.
build it stronger?
Most definitely, because everything is energy. So whether it's personal or whether it is business, you can help a person identify their weaknesses, because once you're aware of a weakness, your consciousness can then make that change.
Okay, that's interesting. Very good. So, Pieter, how do people get hold of you? How do they get you to help them with whether it's relationships, business, sales? How can they contact you?
People can either contact me via my website, which is PC Rall, so P for Peter, C for Charlie, R for Romeo, A for Alpha, lima.com, and contact me that way, or they can get hold of me on WhatsApp as well.
And on WhatsApp, you need to give them your number.
My WhatsApp number is quite easy, so it's 063 735 9119.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing
And
your stories
thank
with
you
us
for-
and your ideas, and thank you for joining me on the Red Couch.
And thank you for inviting me to
It's
the Red Couch.
Pleasure.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Leon.
Thank you, and I hope you have a great evening.
Thanks, guys.